I'm live. Live but not ready. That's not bad. Coffee, check. Dr. Pepper, check. Water, check. Charging packs, check. Purple sugar water, check. Let's bring you up on the other device so we can look at comments. Hello, hello. Welcome to, I don't even know what date it is. It's Tuesday, a Tuesday live stream. It's Tuesday, July 22nd. We are here for a very special, solemn occasion. Let's get going. Let's watch this thing. For real, I'm live. Welcome in, everybody. As usual, it takes me forever to get set up. Nice hat. Hey, Mike. Hey, Jody. Hi, Chris. Yes. Thank you for your service, John Michael Ozzy Osbourne. 76 years on this planet being Ozzy Osbourne. And I found out the news on YouTube. Okay. So I'll just let a few people wander in here. Let's get on, not top chat, but all chat. All messages. All messages. Yeah, a little different setting today. We're out by the fire pit. It's been a very busy couple of weeks. It's been so long since we've gathered together like this. Been working my tail off getting the house ready for sale. As you could see on the post I left earlier, there's a for sale sign at the end of my driveway, and there have been people coming to look at the house. We're actually taking offers on Friday. I guess that's July 25th. And there's been a fair amount of interest, so it's getting pretty exciting. And now the place is all spiffed up. I mean, it's a shame. I was living in such a junk pile before, but the place looks really decent now. But yeah, where were you when you heard the news? I was sitting watching YouTube videos, just trying to catch my breath. Between viewings, there was a couple people came this morning, and they were here for a couple hours, so that's actually a pretty good sign. And then there were two different groups that came for viewings this evening at 5:30 and 6. And it's now just after 8:30, but the last people left like just after 8, so they were here for 2 hours. So I don't know about you, I wouldn't stick around viewing a house if I wasn't interested for more than 2 hours. So anyways, this is my little perennial garden here. My driveway, my apple trees, some stuff. There's a cat sitting next to me on the lawn chair. And yeah, 2 weeks ago we were talking about Ozzy's or Black Sabbath's last back to the beginning farewell shit show. I mean, that was an extravaganza. There was lots to say about that. And just from my perspective, I mean, I've seen, I don't know how many people put out Ozzy videos, little 8, 10, 15-minute clips. That cat's name is Pepper, but there's a whole number of cats. They're a little camera shy. We'll see if anybody else wants to be on camera. Some of you have seen Pepper before. He found out on CNN. Yeah, it's a beautiful night. I don't know if I have the energy for a campfire, but it's nice and calm. We had a good soaking rain today. And yeah, it was kind of fitting. Like, I don't know, where I've been in my headspace for the last 2 weeks is just running my tail off, as I said a few minutes ago, just getting final preparations because we listed the house on Thursday, and just so many final things to when you're getting your house. All the windows got to be spotless, and the yard, all the junk picked up and hidden off in some unseen corner. And then there was a shipping container on the property. We shipped that on Sunday. A guy came and hauled that away. Like, it's just been one thing after another. Repairs to the house, cleaning the yard, just spiffing the place up. And so I didn't have a lot to live stream. Like, it's been over 2 weeks since been in front of the old iPhone camera here. And there were a few days like it's like, let's go live and just say hi to the people, hang out for a bit. But by the end of the day, I would just be exhausted. It's like, nah, I'm good. And so it was like a matter of what would I talk about anyway? Like, I want to come out here and, I don't know about provide value for you guys. I don't know if there's any value in this other than the community we're creating here together. But I just kind of, after hearing the news of Ozzy's death today, and we don't know the cause. He was sick with Parkinson's, and I don't know if that was a complication that was, contributing to his passing today. But like, he was frail, and he's lived a hard life. if you catch my meaning. And so it kind of occurred to me after I heard the news, like, for really the last 2 weeks, I've been doing a fair amount of driving around in my truck, and I've got a CD player in my truck. And really the only thing I've been listening to is tribute. And We Sold Our Souls for rock and roll, and today I was just listening to Paranoid. And those are the only 3 Sabbath CDs I have at the moment. Tomorrow I'm heading into town, the Big Shitty, and with any luck, maybe I'll find a few more used CDs. But maybe with the news of his passing, those are all going to be snapped up. I don't know. Do we know if it's assisted? At this point, I don't think we know much at all. There was an obituary written by the family, I guess. I didn't quite check it out. Like I say, I've been out of the house since 6 p.m. my time. I just got home, and I haven't really looked into it other than viewing a couple of people's contributions in memoriam, just mention. And I'm not going to go through his whole career, but just kind of the impact over the last couple of weeks, like that show in Birmingham, like that was so phenomenal. And I want to take back what I said about Guns N' Roses. I just clear the record. Like, their set was a complete tribute to Black Sabbath. Like, they closed out with Paradise City and Welcome to the Jungle, but the rest of their set was Black Sabbath tunes. And how well they were performed, that's another story. But a lot of the other acts, like that's what I was expecting. I was expecting these acts to come out and do their renditions, interpretations of their favorite influential Black Sabbath songs, and Guns N' Roses really put it out there. So hats off to them for that. Waiting for the DVD. Yeah, I imagine this is gonna create kind of a legacy, and today we lost a legend. Like I've gone on kind of at length for whatever reason since the spring. Well, it was that old Aiden Umferson that triggered me when he kind of alluded to the idea that one greatest singer in Black Sabbath, and so he kind of triggered me to dive into that, and that was like, I don't know, 2-3 months ago. I did those lives where I was comparing Dio to Ozzy, and I think it was kind of conclusive that there's no comparison. And that's just the final word on that. I mean, nothing. No one else needs to make any video on that or nothing. It's sealed. It's in the vault. And I see we're lagging a little bit. I'm a little away from my router, so hopefully this stream doesn't drop. I think we're back. And so just from whatever it was 2 months ago, I've kind of been immersing myself in Ozzy's career, looking at old interviews, and even since the Birmingham concert, finding more clips from television shows he's been on, performances, cameos. To this day, I've never seen an episode of the Osbournes. Maybe I'll have to go back and look at that, although from what I gather, it's kind of seeing Ozzy doddering about his house, kind of out of it most of the time, confused, and yeah, hopefully the buffering will smooth out there. That was so sudden. 2 weeks later, after your last live, he would be gone. Well, yeah, I mean, one YouTube content creator said it's almost like he knew. Like he said it was going to be his last performance, and it's almost like I don't know if you can know, but he must have known it's getting closer. As I'm kind of gazing off into as the sun dips below the tree line, but yeah, just the timing of it all, like it has been very impactful. Like I've grown to appreciate Black Sabbath more, Ozzy's career more, solo stuff, just the person he was, the personality he is, and like it's yeah, maybe it was assisted, maybe they had booked a date, and that it was just a matter of going through the formality. I don't know. I can't say. I have no information on that, so I'm not particularly prone to speculating at this point. Well, but yeah, just a great final performance, a great, just going out on top. Like, can anybody, name for me a performer that went out like with such a bang? Like, I mean, Randy must have been up there just, come on, Ozzy, you can do it. I'm waiting for you. Anyways, I miss Randy too. And I'll miss Ozzy. We all will. But yeah, just enjoying the music, the career, enjoying the legacy, the legend. It's it's been such a great 2 weeks, in spite of all the chaos otherwise that we're having to deal with. And we're not going to go into all the stories. We're going to keep it short. I've got a story, and maybe we'll reconvene here, maybe in the next couple of days or so. Love to have heard him live. Well, let's enter the time machine here. I remember it was junior high, so for Americans, I don't know if you call that middle school or what, but that's like grade 7, 8, and 9 when I was growing up. And it was in grade 7 I was introduced to Kiss and a lot more harder rock. You know, maybe in grade 6 I was getting into Def Leppard. You know, this British sound, this British, you know, the new wave British heavy metal that crashed on the scene. And there was a girl, a cute girl, and she was in love with Randy Rhoads. It was everything Randy Rhoads. And she kind of introduced me to the whole Ozzy thing. And back then, it was Crazy Train, and he had been, I think Bark at the Moon had just come out. And so I think those two singles were really, and Flying High Again. Those were the three that I was familiar with. And then I think it was back in the days of the Columbia Record Club. Is that a, no, it's just a dart. So I remember Columbia Record, and I got the LP, and I got Speak of the Devil, and I believe that was like I don't know where that album. Oh, I know where it went. I gave my albums away to a buddy of mine, so he's enjoying it. But I think that was all Black Sabbath songs, and that I don't even think Randy was on that one, if I remember correct. I'm just going from memory. I didn't do any research about this. I'm just reminiscing. And then I got a copy of Diary of a Madman. I don't think I ever owned Blizzard of Oz. Unless maybe I had that on tape years later. I can't even remember. But I had Diary of a Madman on wax. And then I got Tribute as well through a Columbia Record Club. And who knows if I even paid. Probably. Oh, that Columbia Records. Gotta love them. We'll give you 50 free albums if you promise to pay us. Like, sure, I'll pay. I'm sure I gave them some money over the years. But notice they're not around anymore. At least they're not offering those deals. Mind you, that was streaming service. Oh. Is that the feds? Yeah, a plane flying overhead. Could be the feds. Oh no, that's not the feds. It's just a crop duster. Nobody paid. So that's really all I had for Aussie music. Well, I listened to Tribute over and over and over. And back in the day, you know, for you younger folks, even though I know there's no younger folks that watch this kind of content, we had things called cassette tapes, and you could set up your stereo so that you could record an LP, a record, off your record player, and patch it through to your tape recorder, and you could record your LPs onto tape. So when I was driving truck, long haul, 99, 2000, somewhere in 98, 99, 2000, that was one of my go-tos. And I've got Tribute on CD as well to this day that I've been listening to. Amazing. That's one of my favorite live albums of all time. Suitcase full. And then yeah, driving up and down the road, listening to Randy and Ozzy just giving her. But then somewhere along the way, I had Volume 4 and Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. And I think I ended up with We Sold Our Souls for Rock and Roll on CD at some point. I'm guessing. Uh, if my memory is accurate. But the rest of my Black Sabbath and Ozzy has been from YouTube. Like, I've gone on about this before, how YouTube is such a blessing to us. Back in the day, we never could have imagined you'd just have all this content right at your fingertips. And I mean, credit to all those different channels that are putting out this amazing live footage, commentary about all these artists, and yeah, Ozzy has been in the public stream of consciousness for a good long time. You know, he's a pioneer at so many things, like pioneered heavy metal, even though they would just call it hard blues rock back in their day. He never considered himself uh, heavy metal. Like we're just a hard rock band. You know, the Ozfest, the stellar solo career. You know, one content creator is, you know, after he kind of got fired out of Black Sabbath, it looked like that was it for him. But he came back stronger than ever, and like with an energy that, you know, touring and just putting on a great show for the fans, and just putting himself out there with the, you know, the Osbourne's television, what was it, MTV, or I don't even know. Like I say, I got to go back and look at that. Um, and then all this content on YouTube, like it, you know, the Ozfest, just the work he's done for charities, and that Back to the Beginning show, it raised close to 200 million pounds. So in Canadian dollars, it's like $75 billion or something. Uh, like, it's just amazing. Like, he was, I don't know. There's what an amazing person, an amazing life. Um, I'm kind of at a loss for words already. Like, I could just go on and gush, but I've I've gushed enough about Ozzy on on this channel and my live streams enough. Uh, I just want to say thank you, Ozzy. Anyways, uh, if you guys have something more to say to add to that, uh, smoke one for the Ozman. I mean, just beat all the odds. Like, who lives that hard? Like, it kind of occurred to me, like, 10 years ago, you could have said, hey, Ozzy Osbourne, and I would have been like, that guy's still alive? Like, for real? And yeah, he was touring, making albums. Like, I think there, at the time of his Parkinson's, I'm just trying to remember from his Wikipedia page, like, they were planning a tour to support an album he had made. And, like, it's like he was just wanting to get in front of the people right up until the end. And he did. And like I say, going out on top like that, it's just, if they could all do that. But that's not your typical rock and roll story. A lot of these careers and lives, and suddenly, tragically, sometimes even horrifically, or people just fade into oblivion, and it's kind of sad to watch their decline. Whereas with Ozzy, it was sad to see him decline, but it was part of his story. And yeah, he was amazing, Jody. Yeah. So there's few artists I can think of that had such a stellar impact, like just legendary status. I don't know how else to describe it. Sorry, I've had so much coffee, so much sugar water. Dilute it with a little bit of real water. So, but apparently cigarettes stave off Parkinson's, or can help with Parkinson's. I'll be 56 this year. Hey, welcome in Condensed Reality. I spent my whole life listening to Ozzy. Well, let's see. I think Master of Reality came out the year I was born. So I wasn't quite listening to I'm going to be, wait, what am I? I'm going to be 54 this year. So that's the coffee. Let's get the tweak on. So, so where was I? Yeah, he was talking about touring, like right up until the diagnosis. Uh, it's yeah, my history with Ozzy goes back to, I guess, 13 years old, and there was something about the sound, and I think Randy Rhoads was a real contributor. Uh, I could probably do hours and hours of live streams on Randy as well. Like something about his tone, uh, his technique, his approach to composing, his solos. Again, the people that knew him just said he was such a great guy, and that's what people say about Ozzy as well. And I've seen him in interviews. Like he comes across as this genuine Birmingham bloke, like just this genuine guy. And yeah, growing in appreciation for Black Sabbath and things, and so now I'm discovering some of the stuff that were kind of empty gaps in my Sabbath listening. So Master Reality and Sabotage, and, just kind of. I saw somebody on Marketplace had some Black Sabbath CDs for sale too. I think they had Black Sabbath, the original, the first album. Uh, yeah, there was something just so sweet about Randy's tone, as you're saying, Mike. And it's almost nowadays, like back in the day. Remember having to transcribe music and play by ear, and now you just Google it, and oh, you want to know what pedal effects uh, Tony Iommi uses, or Randy Rhoads, or Eddie Van Halen? Well, he just patches it through this pedal, and this is the kind of amp he uses, and this is the gain setting, and like it's all you don't. It's all figured out for you. It's almost cheating, right? We got all the cheat codes now. But back in the day, people trying to reproduce to get that sound, and imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Like people wanted to sound like these guitar gods, and you could just look up the formula or the recipe online and go buy the pedals, go buy the same amp, uh, the same patch chords, the same guitars, the same pickups, and by the way, that guitar I bought a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever. My hands have been so sore I can't even pick it up. So it's been played a tiny bit, and I see some potential, but I have just been punishing my hands with the amount of kind of physical work that's been done around here, and I tend not to wear gloves, and so my hands just get battered. So I had such a swollen thumb the other day, and my palm was all gouged up. I guess I don't know what's going Hey, Mr. Osgood in the house. Welcome in, welcome in. We're just talking about our dearly departed John Michael Osbourne, aka Ozzy Osbourne. So, how did I say Andy Osbourne? And so, yeah, just taking a few minutes to pay tribute. Um, I don't know if pay our respects, but like, there's only good things to say. Um, I don't know. Was sharing a good thing or a bad thing for Ozzy? They loved each other in their own way, but wasn't always smooth sailing. Uh, what was I on a few minutes ago? Oh yeah, just the internet. Like it is such a wonder, you know. And I'm just kind of being facetious. Like, yeah, these people coming up now, like they don't have to figure out all this stuff. Like people did painstakingly in the past. It's all the hard work is done for you. You just have to go online, look up the cheat codes, and you can make the same sweet sounds. But but yeah, just the passion that people had to honor these artists, all of them. You know, doesn't matter who your favorites were. Like we've all got our favorites, and people would just pour themselves into trying to emulate these greats. There's something so powerful about music, that creativity. Andy Edwards talks so much about this, and he's been putting out some really interesting content as well, as far as copyright, and like there was a whole deal where he got a copyright strike, and he's kind of reevaluating how to approach his channel. And he actually said something interesting today about the branding of his channel is not uh, old time classic music review or this or that. It's Andy Edwards. He could say and do whatever he wants, and that's how I'm branding this channel. You're mostly getting music as of late, but there's other stuff we could talk about. And I was, in the post earlier, I said I was going to tell some shitty stories. I don't have the energy to go into that today. It's already. I missed my afternoon nap, and we'll get together real soon. I don't know. Maybe we could see about. What's tomorrow? It's Wednesday. I got to go into town. Tomorrow's probably not a great day. Maybe Thursday night or on the weekend. I got some interesting stories about what the local council has been doing around here. There's a happy ending, but it's literally a shitty story. And we'll leave it at that. It might take me about an hour to tell the story, uh, but it's definitely entertaining stuff if you're interested in that kind of thing, keeping government officials accountable. And these guys just boobed up this thing royally. So we'll talk about that on another show. But yeah, he was talking about he was responding to his own video about Alan Holdsworth, and people were giving him grief about something he said. I was kind of listening to it in the background, but the snippets I heard were kind of there. And I encourage you to go look at it. I forget the name of it. I'm not linking anything here. I just got an iPhone in front of me, so I'm not gonna post links in the chat or nothing. So, but yeah, Andy's had a lot of interesting things that he's encountering as a YouTuber, and I'm paying attention to as a YouTuber. It's like, yeah, where are we going with this? Why are the studios cracking down on copyright? Uh, uh, Today's video on Holdsworth it had to do with kind of a rage bait comment where somebody said something really, I wouldn't say inappropriate, but it's like, why are you coming around and uh, stirring up that kind of strife? Like, it's not even trolling. Trolling, I'm all for trolling because there's like a level of humor and good nature to it. As much as it incites rage, there's still a finesse and a an art to it. But just being a rage baiter, uh, that's kind of lowbrow. Like I should be talking about lowbrow, criticizing that. Uh, yeah, I'd like to do more lives, and yeah, so maybe we'll just kind of close out. There's kind of options in my future as to where I'm going. I don't know if any of them provide good internet service, but I'm getting a new phone tomorrow when I go into town. So I'll have a phone that's been made in the 21st century, and I'll have. I'm gonna get a data plan for that phone. Whereas my current phone, I'm just going off of my Wi-Fi. So there's potential for live just off the iPhone, and but yeah, one of the options was an off-grid community uh, co-op type of living, where it's kind of working hard at nothing all day. You know, the Bachman Turner Overdrive approach, taking care of business. And yeah, that's what I noticed, Mike. I know you're subscribed to Andy. He, I don't know if it's just that he's sensitive, but things are coming at him that are completely unexpected, and so he's just speaking out against it. But it's sort of like, that's not a criticism. It's just I don't know him well. I've only been watching Andy for less than a year. Uh, but like with any YouTuber, I'm sure you've got your some level of criticism leveled against you, and you know he's got 50, 60 plus thousand subscribers, so you're gonna, if you got the YouTube algorithm's attention, then everybody's gonna have an opportunity to take a shot at you. Uh, but yeah, like, where does this go? Like, some places on YouTube are just so toxic these days. It's amazing. A lot of weirdness going on YouTube, and you know, for a variety of reasons. We won't get into all of them, but it's like Andy is kind of. I understand his history and kind of where he's come from and what he's done, where he's been, and what he's intending to do with his channel and his career, and sort of things are happening that are kind of blindsiding him, and maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say what I would do. Uh, say I'm Gen X, North American. My sensitivities are kind of in other areas rather than mean tweets or nasty comments. I think I can handle that, but uh, yeah, I guess he's using his platform to get across a philosophy or his approach to life, and there's maybe this desire to be understood, and I don't have that anymore. I'm just out here sharing what's going on. If you understand what I'm doing, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. I don't care to be understood anymore. I gave up on that. So maybe it's just that it's not sensitive. It's just his desire to be understood. And he might say, no, you're way off. That's not it. But that can be a powerful drive. You know, it's like, I just need somebody to understand me. It's like, oh, I got my dog to understand me. That's good enough. And I got my pot of coffee. So it's not so much about being understood, but I think Andy wants people to know, where he stands or what he's about. And it's like, that could be a bit overrated as a end goal. But yeah, we'll talk more about the developments in what I'm doing just in my everyday life, and we'll get to that shit show story. I'm thinking no later than the weekend, so we'll maybe even shoot for a Friday night. But watch for notifications. I'll give notice. I gave you notice today, so yeah. And the other thing was, I hadn't put out content in 2 weeks, like nothing, and the subscriber count still keeps going up. And so my joke is the way to grow this channel is just not do anything. So not that it's about subscribers that I'm keeping score. I just find it tremendously hilarious that you could just with I've got a fair amount of content out there that, new people can find it or whatever. That last live stream, I mean, it's kind of capitalizing on the hoopla of the back to the beginning. That whole week, like everybody was doing that. So who knows? Maybe the algorithm was picking my live stream up, but that one got 66, 67 views, which is kind of a lot for my live streams. And it's not about the numbers, but I'm just aware of the numbers. Like some of the live streams get 20 views. That one got a good number of views. That, and so maybe with, like, I'm not trying to capitalize on Ozzy's death to grow my channel, but who knows? Maybe new people will find this video after it's published. But I am so thankful for all of you for joining me. Oh, thank you, Jody. Share the lives. Yeah, I guess the way the algorithm works, it's engagement, right? So if you're commenting on stuff and liking stuff and sharing or saving, it's like, go ahead and do that. Whatever. If you think that helps, I'm not trying to game the YouTube system or algorithm. I'm just kind of fascinated by how this all works, where you can literally not publish anything for 2 weeks and you get another 10 subscribers or whatever it was. I mean, that's not a huge amount, but like if you look at any of the suggestions from either content creators or YouTube itself, it's like you got to keep being consistent with your content, and I'd like to, but I'm so inconsistent in my thinking, and as I said earlier, I want to come up here and have something to say, not just sit here and look at the screen and, oh, maybe that's the feds. Well, they're flying high enough. Usually they fly right overhead. But no, I appreciate you all for coming and join me on this memorable day. I'm gonna remember this day most certainly. What I was doing, where I was. This is one of those historic days. And so with that, I think we'll call it a night, and I'll let you guys know when we'll sit and talk again. Bless you guys. Love you. Good night.